What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Power Play with CJ. We're focusing on the LA Kings 2015-2016 season preview and what to expect from Hollywood's team as the Kings look to bounce back after missing the playoffs last year and kind of having an embarrassing off season. Between the Richards arrest and then subsequent, what's the word I'm looking for? Voiding of his contract. There was a better word, but that was the official thing I'm going for. That was not a high point for the organization. Neither was, Jared Stoll, who's now a former King, being, arrested on drug charges. Justin Williams taking his talents to Washington. Obviously, a little bit different than those two. But, they really just had an off season to forget in so many ways. And the whole thing with Slava Voinov, that insufferable piece of shit, the wife beating motherfucker. He's been, I guess, in jail. I guess he also ruptured his Achilles too, which karma's a bitch. But that was kind of, if I were the Kings, I would not want him back in the lineup, particularly with the court of public opinion in the last few years, last year or so, particularly since Ray Rice incident with the athletes and domestic violence. It sends a bad message to have him on the ice. Send him to the KHL, do what you got to do, but what he did was wrong. I mean, if you actually read the police reports, it was evil the way he beat the piss out of his wife. And it was one time. It looked like it was more of a trend than a one time. He's really pissed. Not that I'm condoning that either, but you catch my drift. One addition they did make, as we move on to the hockey side, is landing Milan Lucic from the Boston Bruins. Gave up a bit for Luch, between Miller, the first round pick, and Martin Jones, but as a Bruins fan, you're being bought. No, I don't. I think he'll fit the style of play, and I personally think he'll fit in well with Kopitar and Gaborik on the top line. I think that'll be a very good first line, but he's going to be a free agent at the end of the year. I don't think he's going to resign with Los Angeles because they don't have the cap room. I think they're going to have the inside track to resign him, but I just think the logistics of it are going to make it pretty hard, and just such a it's a tough situation to be in for the Kings because as good of a team as they have, and as good of a market as LA has become, and I'm sure Lucic wants to be there for it. Dollars and cents got to come first, and you can't fault someone for trying to get themselves paid, and I think Lucic is going to be trying to do that. So definitely well, it's a wait and see. Will they re-sign him? The Kopitar thing is another thing. I think the Kopitar deal gets done. I mean, I'm concerned. I'm not concerned, but I'm intrigued that it hasn't been done. We're already in September. That's something that I got to take a look at. But at the end of the day, I think him and, for that matter, Steven Stamkos will both be re-signed by the time camp opens. I think both of them. Not. Let me first say, by the time the season ends, by the time camp opens, it's 2 weeks. So I went from 2 weeks to 10 months, but again, I think that both players are in good situations with their current teams. LA has won 2 cups of Kopitar. Tampa's gone the final last year with Stamkos and are on the ascent. So either way, I think that neither one gets to free agency. I think they both get deals done, but the longer it drags on, the more likely free agency is for both squads. Again, there's too many question marks with this Kings team. I think they'll be back in the playoffs next year, but look at Dustin Brown's contract, and you look at, you're able to rid yourself of Mike Richards' contract, but in a year or two, maybe Jeff Carter's contract becomes a bit of a burden. Obviously, right now, one of the better goal scorers in the league, fits in well with that team, and is a big center in the Western Conference, which is what you need to compete. But it's just such a tough draw right now. The Kings don't have any forwards under 6 feet. Well, Gaborik was at 6'1". Gaborik's not 6'1". But yeah, it's just. They got one of the biggest forward cores in the league, and you need that. With the way the Western Conference is, when you're going up against teams like Anaheim and Chicago and St. Louis, Nashville to a certain degree, you need those big bodies to establish space down low and open stuff up. So again, that's just one of those situations that this is a championship nucleus. They have one of the best goalies in the world when he's on his game, and John Quick. Pretty good backup in Jonas Enroth, too. I forgot they signed him. It was like one of those things. Oh, yeah, They got him. Yeah, I signed him almost 2 months ago, but again, and they had to bring Peter Boot out of camp. It's gonna be like they had brought in it's like Delorier a few years ago. But I think that the championship nucleus is intact. They'll bounce back. I think they caught a couple bad breaks down the stretch last year. Andre Sekera, who they brought in and didn't do shit for them, really anything about it, then left as a free agent. That hurt. A couple other, obviously the Foynov situation really not. I mean, as much of a scumbag as he is, not having him for on the ice really screwed up their plans. Yeah, they had a Christian Ehrhoff this week. Very good signing, I think. To add some depth to that blue line, and he'll only be there one of two defensemen they have on a contract over the age of 30. Him and Matt Green. So that's still they get a lot of experience. Guys who have come close, like Ehrhoff, guys who have won it both in LA, like most of the nucleus says, and elsewhere, like Lucic. I think they're back in the playoffs. I think they're second in the Pacific Division. And for all the question marks they have, I think Daryl Sutter finds a way to get this team to go on a playoff run. Right now, and this is my unofficial Western Conference top three, I get Anaheim, Nashville, Chicago, and then the Kings. Even ahead of St. Louis. So we'll see how it all shakes up, and I'll probably be wrong because I'm wrong a lot. But as much as I'm knocking this team, at the back of my head, I'm like, all right, they won a cup 14 months ago. They won another cup 2 years before that. A lot of those players are still there. What's that next? Can they continue this wave of success after making changes this offseason? We'll see. But I don't like betting against this team because they've shown time and time again, the more you count them out, the more likely they are to surprise you. Anyway, that's our episode of the Power Play with CJ. Stay tuned for episodes for the off season and beyond. Later, guys.